Paintball is one of the world's fastest growing extreme sport, and it has two games, one of which is recreational paintball and the other one is speedball. Typically they both share the same idea of tag and hide and seek and capture the flag. The main objective is to go over, reach your opponent's base with the goal of eliminating your opponents by shooting paintballs and at the same time not getting shot. The game of speedball is more fast-paced than the rec ball. It has tournament-sized playing fields with inflatable bunkers for players to hypercover, and the guns they use are more sophisticated. We use mechanical and electrical markers. Whereas on the other side, in recreational paintball or rec ball, the paintball playing field varies in size, and there's no limit to how many players that can play the game. And the obstacles are much more different. They have obstacles such as tires, cars, barrels, and these obstacles actually define the whole scenario. They represent a certain theme for players to play around with. In speedball you do. There's a time frame, usually 5 minutes, 7 minutes, depending on how many players play the game and different tournaments around the world. We have PSP tournament, MPPL, USPL, we have Millennium series in Europe, and obviously we have PAL series in Asia. And they have different time frames. Where there's a limited time to where we have to eliminate all opponents and capture the flag. The sport is open to everyone of all ages, men and women, children, and different lifestyles. We have young players here in the UAE as young as 8-10 years old picking up the game. And we have professional players who are almost reaching 50. And it's a healthy sport. It's a very safe sport, and statistics show it that it's one of the safest sports to play. To a certain extent, it is painful, but we do have protective gear. We have protective chest pad for maybe children who they prefer to wear thicker clothing and might not even hurt. But it depends on the rules and regulations of the tournaments or the games that defines whether it hurts or not. It's a safe sport. We have mandatory equipment, for example the mask. Whenever you're on a playing field, you need to wear a mask, a paintball mask, and it protects your eyes and face. And you have optional protective gear such as chest pad, elbow pads, knee pads, and thicker jerseys and pants for you, and it's optional for you to play depending on what type of game you play. The sport of paintball is very unique because it promotes integrity, self-confidence, teamwork, and it helps you to think strategies. You don't necessarily have to be physically fit to play the game. You have to be mentally active. You have to have a good reaction to react on how the game flows. And it doesn't necessarily happen the way you plan it to. And you have to adjust accordingly on how the game flows. In the UAE, there are several paintball fields. I personally go to the Al-Ain Sportplex paintball field. They have good facilities for any type of paintball player. They have 3 fields, 2 speedball field and 1 rec ball field, uncovered and covered. They have a pro shop. They have the equipment from head to toe, and that caters for all types of players.
You are listening to the Lexicon. Solo my drums. 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 To solo my drums. You are listening to the Lexicon. Listening to the Lexicon. You are listening to the Lexicon. Listening to the Lexicon. You are listening to the Lexicon. Listening to the Lexicon.